Good evening. This is CTV News for August 23rd. I'm Patricia Ballone. Thank you for joining us this evening. Well, a crash this morning on the southbound Interstate 495 near Forestville Road leaves two men seriously injured. About 8 a.m., a box truck hit the back of a tractor trailer. The driver, 21-year-old Dane Canatereo Mejia, had to be removed from the vehicle after being trapped. He and his passenger, 18-year-old Wilbur Martinez, were taken to the University of Maryland Prince George's Hospital Center for treatment. The driver of the tractor trailer was not injured. On the Beltway, motorists were stuck in traffic for almost 8 miles. Well, our next story takes us to Dulles International Airport, where TSA confiscated this. Authorities say agents discovered the loaded weapon and 10 bullets in a man's carry-on baggage. Police were called, the weapon seized, and the passenger was cited. It was the 12th time this year a handgun was confiscated at Dulles. TSA says passengers can travel with firearms, but only in checked-in baggage that's properly packaged and declared. Well, police wanted you to take a close look at this photo. The man in this picture is an armed robbery suspect who has targeted 3 laundromats in 4 days, including one on Wednesday morning. Now, the businesses are located in Landover, Temple Hills, and Capitol Heights, and all were targeted during the early morning hours. The same man is also suspected of robbing a gas station early Tuesday morning in Landover Hills. If you have any information on the suspect, you are asked to call Crime Solvers at 1-866-411-TIPS. Well, a Maryland legislative ethics panel spent most of Wednesday in a closed-door meeting to consider sexual misconduct allegations against Delegate Kurt Anderson. According to the Baltimore Sun, 5 women, 2 former staffers, and 3 current lawmakers were interviewed in June by an outside investigator hired by the committee. Accusations range from sexual assault to an unwanted kiss and inappropriate comments about women's appearance. The panel can recommend penalties, including a letter of reprimand, censure, or expulsion. Well, House Speaker Michael Bush speaks out on his plans to protect women's right to choose in Maryland. The lawmaker will introduce a constitutional amendment during the 2019 session that safeguards abortion rights for women. Some states want to protect those rights in case the Supreme Court tries to overturn federal law.
I think with the litmus test that President Trump has put on the Supreme Court to have a pro-life judge, the erosion of Roe versus Wade seems to be imminent. And I believe that the vast majority of Marylanders think the current law that we have should be encased in a constitutional amendment. And you put that in front of the general public, that amendment, and I think everybody will be on board on that. And then let the general public determine whether you want to put it in the Constitution or not. So I feel pretty strongly that we don't need a divisive issue like that when it's already been settled at the polls back in 1992.
Now, the measure would have to be approved by voters at the ballot box in 2020 during the next presidential election. Well, gubernatorial candidate Ben Jealous gets some major endorsements today. Top Maryland leaders like Senate President Mike Miller and legislators from Prince George's and Montgomery counties threw their support behind him. On the steps of Suitland High School, the Democratic candidate vowed to increase the wages of teachers across the state.
We will raise teacher pay across the state by 29%. And why? Because we've got to keep it going up for a while to catch up where everybody else is. You can't have the best teachers in Prince George's County when they can go across the line to D.C. and make so much more.
And the general election is set for November 6th.